Pueblo. I have a shop called Pueblo Hobbies. I don't have a physical shop, but I always put up a booth in TOYCON. I'm also the creator and admin of G.I. Joe Philippines. It's a G.I. Joe group for Facebook. I members of various G.I. Joe groups and vintage toy groups. Actually, there was a first one before, but somebody lost interest on the website. There's a website, Facebook also, but it was like 15 years ago. Then somebody became available again, and I want to make a group that's neutral. There are reasons why those groups are formed because of their personal reasons.
Yes.
And I want to have a neutral ground, like a neutral group, like these events for GI Joe and promote the GI Joe fandom in the Philippines without any conflicts with anybody. I try to be as neutral as possible for everybody.
Yeah.
My main line is GI Joe.
Okay.
So I try to collect almost everything GI Joe, even those small stickers, tissue from
As long as it
before,
has the
party
G.I. Joe.
mats, anything GI Joe, basically. The
actually
first
bought?
GI Joe I got
Yeah,
was
in the collection.
a GI Joe figure from Hong Kong that my father brought.
Oh, that's nice.
That's like 1982. No, 84. That's my first GI Joe. It's Alpine and Storm Shadow.
Oh.
The best part with that is actually the accessories. Got me excited because that's what you wanted. Like the dolls of your sisters have those accessories, and you can't do anything. You get like a good figure, but no accessories. So, you have the old accessory, old GI Joe, the 12-inch,
Yeah.
but you try not to go because you find it like a doll. But a lot of people will crucify me for calling it as a doll. Sabi ng nanay ko, I got one. It's like, laro ka ng manika.
Yes.
Di ba? Ganon. Di
True.
ba? Nakakainis eh. When the G.I. Joe 3 and 3/4 inch figure came out, and I got from my father brought from Hong Kong, I was so excited. It's so affordable.
At that time.
At that time, for like less than 100 pesos.
Yep, 75 I
Yeah,
believe
like
when
something
it
like that.
started. Yep.
But the cheapest one I got, I still remember it, 1993 at Uni White sales. Takara G.I. Joe at Uni White sales, only 20 pesos each. So every day, I go to Uni White sales. I get one G.I. Joe. The usuals, like Cobra Commander, Baroness.
Yep.
Yun yung pinakamarami bago Destro.
Yes.
The Cobra ones, the G.I. Joe ones, the heroes, tsambahan na lang kung makakuha. Oo, pero mostly it's the Cobra ones. The prized possession, the toys that I still have from childhood. Because the one who taught me to collect, basically, is my mother.
Wow.
My
I was thinking it was your dad, but
No,
it
my
was
mother is a pack rat, and she's very strict. So
Okay.
what my mother do, all the toys that my father brought from abroad, also we have a glass cabinet there. So that's where he displays the toys. And if we want to play a toy, we have to do our chores and our
First,
homework, and we can only get one. You have to choose.
Oh.
And if you don't bring it back, he will lock it up. She will lock it up, and you cannot play with the toy for the next day. So that's very. Until now, we have that glass cabinet from the 70s, and
nice.
so all our toys from Saudi, because my father was there, in the Middle East, those tin toys, those really classic toys talaga, those mechanical toys na it's really popular. Those are my prize possessions.
You're the distributor
Yes, sir.
of this
I was,
special print by Larry Hama.
Yeah.
Could you please tell us something about that?
This is a special artwork done by Larry Hama, exclusively for TOYCON. And it features our first Filipino G.I. Joe operative, which is Multo. Glenn is the one actually who planted the seed on Larry Hama
Oh, that's nice.
to make Multo. So when he had the interview during the pandemic, 2020, Glenn asked the golden question.
Actually, we go way back. So, early days of Facebook, 2009. the very first celebrity that I interviewed and added on Facebook was Larry Hama. So he was the first person I tried finding na popular person. And then the very first question I asked was that, has there ever been a Filipino G.I. Joe or anything close to it? So the closest is Torpedo, Lieutenant Torpedo, whose surname is actually Lealoha, which is a tribute to the inker, Steve Lealoha. So the Navy SEAL Torpedo has a balisong. That is the only connection to Filipino lore. Pero he's not Filipino. Basically, Torpedo is
Hawaiian.
Or Pacific Islander. Fast forward to TOYCON 2020 when we had TOYCON TV. The question was already there for the longest time. And so I just popped the question, like, Larry, when will we ever have a Filipino G.I. Joe? So everybody else wanted to ask the question, but yun nga, sabi ko, as early as 2009 already asked him. He said, we'll do something about it. Fast forward to 2021, he introduced Multo. Actually, the idea of Multo came from TOYCON and asked by yours truly. So, kumbaga, parang inception was from myself and the rest of the G.I. Joe community. And then from there, we did this project. He was supposed to fly in. Didn't materialize, but for the sake of giving something back to the fans, Larry Hama said, I will do a special commissioned artwork for TOYCON. So originally it was supposed to be just Multo. And then basically I asked him, Larry, can we add Snake Eyes? The very least. Most iconic G.I. Joe. It's like, okay, bet. So we got him to do the pencils. Then afterwards, we also like, would you like to have this ink? And then he said, okay, but the only guy who could do the inks would be Steve Lealoha. So this is a reunion of sorts of the original artist, inker, and writer of the 1980s Marvel G.I. Joe run. Because back then, the G.I. Joe comics were produced by Marvel Comics. This one is a TOYCON exclusive, only 100 pieces made, hand-signed, individually numbered. And from the design perspective, since this is a commissioned artwork, I already specifically asked Larry, like, can we have Multo and Snake Eyes shooting something off cam? Okay, bet. Both using firearms. So if you actually crop this sight here, the 2 gunshot bursts is the space allocated for his signature. So even if you miss out the logo here, even if you cut Snake Eyes waist level,
You will still see the
this blocking would always have Larry Hama's signature.
Nice.
And then at the bottom is the Larry Hama and Steve Lealoha joint signature.
Got it.